Hey, what's up? I'm Justin Riley, Program Director of Z100 and Wild 1075 for Clear Channel Media and Entertainment Portland. And your lovely and or handsome account executive asked me to pop in today and tell you a little bit of the differences between Z100 and Wild 1075, where they're kind of the same. They're also very different. Each has their very own identity. Let's start with the one that's been around the longest, Z100. Nearly 30 years on the air in Portland, playing top 40 music. And yeah, the station has changed over the years. That's because it's able to adapt with the times. That's what's great about Z100 being a top 40 or contemporary hit music format. We get to kind of adapt to what's hot and what's popular. We're not pigeonholed to one genre of music. So if all of a sudden rock stuff becomes big, boom, we can play more rock stuff. If all of a sudden, dance stuff, kind of as we're going through right now, gets big, we get to own that image here in the market. That makes Z100 just a world-class radio station for the Northwest. Wild 1075, not on the air as long as Z100, but definitely has its own identity. Portland's party hits. Where Z100 can kind of move and adapt and play some of the slower stuff and the rock stuff, Wild 1075 doesn't do that. You're going to hear up-tempo, feel-good music all the time on Wild 1075. Whether it's pop, whether it's dance, whether it's hip-hop, Wild can play all that. Now, sometimes we have clients that say, well, if I advertise on Z100, I don't need Wild. Or if I'm on Wild, I don't need Z100. Well, you do, and here's why. Because when people decide they don't like what's on Z100, a lot of them go to Wild 1075. So if you're advertising on both stations, you've got a better chance of reaching your potential clients, because if your commercial plays on Z100 and they happen to be listening to Wild, you can still reach them. Plus, we do little fun things like when Z100 is playing commercials, Wild 1075 isn't playing commercials. So we kind of recycle the audience back and forth in our own house. So you get a lot more bang for your buck if you're advertising on both radio stations. So that's it. I hope I answered some of your questions and helped your lovely account executive explain why you should be on both radio stations. And if you want even more details on either of these great stations, feel free to give me a call. Your account executive has my number. I'd love to talk to you about becoming part of the Z100 and Wild 1075 family.